What's up, everyone? Cinephile Mike here, and we are in Season 4 of Awards Season Reviews, counting down to the 98th Academy Awards in 98 days with 98 reviews. Quick reminder before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single day of the Awards Season Reviews coming at you. Today, we are kicking off our 9th theme week, a new one that I haven't focused on before, but specifically, I am dedicating this week to the craft. Yes, we're dedicating it to the films that are in the running for all those categories such as editing, costume, set, and all the other amazing visual elements that have delighted our eyes and ears. Some of these films are up for the Oscars this year, and some are looking for Guild or BAFTAs or others. So we're going to see where each one goes, and let's kick it off with looking at Universal Pictures' Jurassic World Rebirth. Written by David Cope and directed by Gareth Edwards, this film, released in the summer of 2025, was the 7th in the 30-plus-year-old franchise. Jurassic World Rebirth opens by pulling us right back into familiar territory for the franchise. Secretive corporate science, abandoned facilities, and dinosaurs that humanity probably should have just left alone. Years after the world has tried and largely failed to coexist with de-extinct creatures, the remaining populations have been pushed into tightly controlled equatorial zones. Now, when a powerful pharmaceutical company identifies a potential medical breakthrough tied to the biology of a few of these massive surviving species, a dangerous and highly classified mission is quietly put into motion. This brings together a small, specialized team led by Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, a hardened covert operative, and alongside a well-meaning paleontologist, Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey, who are tasked with illegally traveling to a forbidden island to collect biological samples from 3 different dinosaurs. One from the land, one in the sea, and one, easily enough, in air. Their operation is meant to be quick and discreet, but the island proves to be unstable, as its past suggests. And along the way, the mission unexpectedly intersects with a civilian family consisting of Patriarch Ruben, played by Manuel Garcia Rulfo, his daughters Teresa, played by Luna Blaze, and Isabella, played by Audrina Miranda, and Teresa's boyfriend Xavier, played by David Ayacano, who are caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, complicating both the stakes and the secrecy of the operation. Now, as survival becomes the priority, the film shifts into a familiar rhythm of escalating danger, moral compromises, and narrow escapes, all unfolding within the ruins of old InGen infrastructure. Loyalties, shocker, they fracture. Motivations are exposed, and that line between scientific progress and corporate exploration becomes increasingly clear. By the time the survivors are forced to make their final choices, Rebirth lands firmly on the question that has followed this franchise from the start. Just because we can use this power, does that mean we should? Okay. Like its predecessors, Jurassic World Rebirth understands one fundamental truth. There is something fun and thrilling about seeing dinosaurs on the big screen. Even as the designs lean further into these imagined mutations and heightened spectacle, the sense of scale and danger remains effective. Scarlett Johansson is a welcome addition to the franchise as the gun-toting covert operative at the center of the story. She grounds the film with a physical presence and confidence that immediately feels at home in the universe. Jonathan Bailey's paleontologist brings, that familiar, shucks charm that, we've come to expect from at least one character here, but he delivers it with enough sincerity that makes it work. The biggest misstep for me with this film is the inclusion of the family subplot, which was clearly meant to, kind of recapture some of the emotional grounding of the original film. And while that intention is understandable, the execution not done so well. Oftentimes, the family becomes more of a distraction than emotional anchor, and one character in particular, Xavier, wears thin very quickly, and I'm not going to say what happens to him, but as I was watching him, I was like, you know what? If a dinosaur gets him, I'm okay. And this isn't an issue with the performance. The actors all do fine with what they're doing. It's with the material they're giving them. It's a structural problem. The subplot simply isn't necessary, especially when the primary mission and its dangers are already compelling enough on their own. That sense of narrative bloat extends to the overall runtime. At over 2 hours, the film feels stretched, and some talented performers, most notably Mahershala Ali and Ed Skrein, members of Zora's team, they're underserved as a result. Still, when Rebirth focuses on what the audiences actually came for, humans versus dinosaurs, it delivers. The sound work is outstanding across land, sea, and air, with a crisp, immersive design from the team of Gary Dodkin, Pete Horner, Gary Summers, Tim Nielsen, and Bjorn Ole Schroeder. The visual effects team once again impresses, particularly while all the dinosaurs are incredible. My particular favorite was the elegant and stealthy Quetzalcoatlus, the one up in the air. All of this while Alexandre Desplat's score strikes a beautiful, satisfying balance between originality and reverence for John Williams' iconic themes. You can feel the love for the franchise in this film, even if tighter storytelling could have made it soar, but you're willing to forgive it a little bit for that. All right, now let's talk box office and awards. At the end of its run, while the lowest of the Jurassic World films, it still impressed at the box office, making $339,640,400 domestically and $529,505,789 internationally, for a worldwide total of $869,146,189. Divided in the ratings, 402 critical reviews have the film with a rotten 50% on the tomato meter, but more liked by audiences with a 70% popcorn meter from over 10,000 reviews. Award season-wise, it is competing for Oscar Gold in the visual effects category. A surprise, it wasn't an initial frontrunner, but there it is. Additionally, it has 2 Guild nods: Best Contemporary Makeup for a Feature-Length Motion Picture by the Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild, and Best Music Supervision for a Film Trailer by the Guild of Music Supervisors. A nominee for Best Science Fiction Film at the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Film Awards, and an Astra nominee for the visual effects, the film had a few other recognitions amongst a few festivals and critic circles. So where do I land? As much as it evoked the first film for me, there's just a bit too much here. Maybe there's a little bit of fatigue for me in the Jurassic franchise. Maybe I needed a little more time between this and Dominion. But it's a beautiful looking 3-star middle ground film. Thoughts? Let me know. If you haven't seen it or need to rewatch, Jurassic World Rebirth is currently streaming on Peacock. All right. Thank you for joining me for episode 57 of Award Season Review Season 4. We got 41 days left, so make sure that you stay with me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms and on Letterboxd. And, of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for even more movie reviews and goodies. All right, see you tomorrow for the next review. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.